Hello, hello. Well, I apologize for the noise you might hear my neighbors banging on. Don't know what they're doing. Beautiful model today. You'll see these are the first lines that I'm doing. Face. She's got a really nice face. Look there. Arm, left arm. Bit of breast shown, but before the breast, I'll just get the gesture. Try and get the gesture. Crotch area, and her body. That's the line of the body. That's the line of her face, and you got the body line. Shoulder, rib cage, hip. Getting through here, and then you have thigh somewhere here, and then the thigh moves down, and then you have the foot moving back with that beautiful gesture there, and then you have also hip. Maybe a bit too wide. I'll leave there for the time being. Loose as you can. Well, I'm trying to do what I'm teaching, really. The looser you are, the less tight the drawing will look, and hopefully the more natural. Pressed, as I said. Now this leg is keeping the whole weight of her body is within this leg, and also a straight line comes right down here, straight line for the nose, and this is where her foot lies as well. Her foot, calf, and then foot, like this. Just shape first, and then less concern with the volume, but shape, and then volume. As I said, the looser you are, hopefully the better the drawing will come, or the looser, the more natural, let's say. That line continues like that. So knee cup straight down to toes. The other foot here is quite loose for the time being. Slowly will get tighter. I think I've gone a little bit too much. Yes, too much on this side, so too far out here. That hand is there, not here, here. And the straight line, which will create me the shadow that I need right down here. And this shoulder appears to be quite thick, shoulder here, and the whole arm thicker, appears to be thicker. And a little bit of shadow here, and you got the start getting the shape first of the shadow, and the shadow itself, half tone around here, and shadow here. I think it's quite soft, the shadow here. Obviously in the thigh, you got that beautiful mass coming, softly moving towards the right. And this, the kneecap has gone too far down. A bit further up. I think that's better. And the shadow here. Let's bring the thigh towards me. And as I said, I'll try and keep those shadows as soft as I can. Left hand side, all these side shadows, keep them soft. The darker you go, the more stiff they look. Well, depends, not necessarily, not true. But depends how you treat the dark. If you go too dark, then yes, it might look stiff. Softly, and maybe a bit more accurate there. There for this thigh. Just a tiny line. That would do for the time being. Cuff, 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 cuff. And a little bit more. The line of the arm, upper arm. And some armpit here, shadow really. That's a breast. It's a nice pose, very sort of like content. This, she's looking content, yes. This line here, try and get a little bit more accurately. And this half tone could go a long way up here. And softly moving it this way. The dark could go around there. A bit, just a line there to create that crotch area, sorry. And then softly defining a little bit more the shadow here, being a bit more precise. But this light, it is bright actually, but I'll keep it artificially less bright than this. Do you see what I mean? Because that will be more prominent, so I'll keep that less bright on purpose. Okay, and breast, very little seen here, a little bit of breast. More is this, the line which defines the end of the breast. That's enough. And the content look on her face. Let's drag the picture on my computer closer. Yes, I got the picture closer, so bigger as well, so I can see more of her face. First of all, features. And keep in mind, because the head is looking a little bit too wide on me. So shadow first, light, and then the hair, which is curly, all around here, and curly hair, and hand, which is her, it's her right hand, fingers getting through the hair. And more than anything is a shadow I need to be aware of. And then this shadow is very dark. It's the neck area. I'll go dark, all of it dark, and I'll come later on, as you will see, with the rubber and clear it up. So her right arm is protruding out. A line. Now Penny asked, how do I... Okay, that was a good question. How do I incorporate those lines to be softer? Well, this is an example here for Penny and for everyone. How do I, when I say incorporate those dark lines, would be, I can keep that dark, but then I'll go softer, you see? So it's not only the line, and it becomes part of a wider shadow. That's how you incorporate the dark to look. So instead of doing one line that I've done previously, I'm moving it or merging it with a wider shadow. She's got curled hair. Well, to me, by squinting my eyes, I just see a dark shadow. I don't actually see the curls of her hair, and I'm not interested in see the curls at this stage because it's not a portrait, it's more of a gesture drawing. I'm trying to not to move the camera when I'm actually doing this, so inevitably moves, but I'm trying to minimize it. Ear, not hair. Ear. Now this shoulder, it's a mistake. I think I've tucked it too much. I think it should go a bit further out. There. And more of a rib cage, a bit more, see, makes more sense. It was a bit too small. Maybe you will see it as a mistake, but I think it makes more sense when you increase the size of her rib cage and a tiny indication of ribs. Although she's quite, she doesn't look thin, but just a tiny 2 lines will be enough to show that we are aware of what's going on underneath the skin or the flesh. Shadow of a breast underneath here. Okay, and going back to the portrait, very fleshy lips, so keep an eye on the lips to make it fleshy and wide. Lips started. Not many people start from the lips. Not no one, but I wouldn't go as far as no one. But yeah, not many people start from the lips. But it was just because I was there, I just tackled the lips. A little bit of sleepiness in the face. Let me sharpen the charcoal. We've said that many times. Whoa, charcoal. Now keep it straight. So this is how you get very, very sharp edges. See, just get that very sharp edge of the charcoal here. Look at the profile of that. This is like a knife. Now this is just to go. Sorry for the neighbors again. Don't want to be nasty and talk to them because they're quite young. But they should know better anyway. I'm bending my own rules here because it's not a portrait really, but you know, people are always drawn to the face. You cannot avoid that. So what I mean by that is because I'm putting now more attention to the portrait. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. But it's inevitable because, as I said, people love working on portraits. We'll go back to portraits, don't worry. So curls just coming through. And more than anything, just to do a shadow really more around her body. Give a little bit more of an ambience there. Oh, yeah, almost forgot. We've got a hand here. And this hand is actually lower. No. This is where it needs to be. So her left hand arm really goes a bit slow, slightly lower than that. Oh, there we are. But more emphasis is this line. See, instead of going and doing dark here, emphasizing this dark, I will emphasize this more. Now that's artificially pumped up, obviously, because this line is more important, that's where it ends. But by giving this, emphasizing this, I'm directing the viewer's gaze to where I want them to be, because I find this prettier than the end of the hand. So what do I mean by that? Look, so this line here, that, you see this little light, you will see in the original that I'll send, is actually brighter than that line there. That line there just merges with the background. So it's not as important. Or I don't see it as so important. I mean, you might start doing this, but I would suggest do what I'm doing here. Because it's proven to work. Not because it's better, but, well, you might say, if it's proven to work, then it's better. Well, not necessarily, because if it was 1:1 in art, then we will have only one type of artist. So you see, cannot claim that. So, but it's proven to work in the meaning that you increase this, or you direct the viewer's gaze where you want them to go. That's her left hand, this is her wrist, and that's her left arm, and this is her right arm. Now, a bit of light on her hand and subsequently on the fingers. 1, 2. 2 will be enough. See, the rest you know that is within the hair. So you see I incorporated that dark line here that Penny was asking, how do we incorporate dark line? So that dark line now, it's not standing out. Okay, now, but what is standing out is this beautiful light all through her wrist to the elbow. That's what's standing out. And this elbow here, which is very nice to work on here. Emphasize. It's beautiful. It's not very nice, it's beautiful to work on. Just go to bandages on her hand, you'll see. It doesn't really matter, we're just putting them on there to be there. This shadow should be soft. It's just for ambience. You don't want this shadow to be too dark. or maybe don't put a shadow at all, but I think I suggest it's better. Now, light here is a light, you'll see, because that turn creates a beautiful volume, and that volume you cannot do it differently unless you brighten it up. And breast brighter, rib cage. Maybe I've gone too much out. I'm seeing it again, and maybe a bit too much out, so I'll choose this middle line here. And emphasize this more. Shoulder? That's the shoulder, yes. A bit bright on the shoulder here. And then coming up here. And a little bit light here. That is always brighter. And well, it's always brighter because you have that belly fat here that we all have. So but then how do you make it shine? So you just brighten it up, that area here, and then a little bit of six packs, which it doesn't actually have, but I will emphasize a little bit the darks here. And belly, bit brighter here. And bit dark here. Just so it shows where we're emphasizing crotch area. Darker. And then see, just not emphasize this line, but then more is this. Now that creates see that line here, which creates the volume. We've done that on cylinder, where we worked with cylinders and spheres. I hope you remember that. A bit more precise there. And maybe work on the portrait a bit more. See, this is incorporating the darks. This is what I mean when I say incorporate those lines, like eyebrow, eye, look, a darker shadow, or a general, not dark, well, darker and general shadow, which also brings, and then just leave one part of the face showing or not working on shadow, which is this part, this cheek, then nose popping out brighter. I mean, I could brighten that a bit more because she's looking down, and so you have more of a eye socket showing. And you see, I've lost the sharp line that I had here on the eyebrow. Lost it. This is what I mean, incorporate those lines onto the bigger shadow again. Sorry, I'm repeating myself, but it's better repeating than not repeating. So we know what we're talking about when I ask you to incorporate those dark lines within a general drawing. Okay. Bit darker. Emphasizing here, and then just a line here, look. There's no need for more. Look, see? And that brings me her right arm popping through or showing through. Highlighting that a bit more, but maybe I'm going too bright with this, because this is brighter than this light. So this light here shouldn't be brighter than that. So look, incorporate that light into a wider light area, which is this also. And I could go a little bit brighter here, because you see, this is, she has exposed this part of her body to the sun. She's got a bit of a tan here, so I cannot be as bright as that, because this normally people don't expose unless you go to a nudist beach. I've gone to Spain, and then you see, you know, obviously people having a bath. So you normally don't expose that. But so it's brighter this than that. So this area here is brighter than the whole of her arm. And what I need to get here going is that line merges with the breast. You'll see it in the picture I'll send you. See? Becomes one with the breast. And then this shows up a bit more. Again, I'm brightening, but not as much, you see. I'm leaving it into a little bit foggy there, so you don't know how bright it is. And then that light, or that line, bringing it up there, just a bit like that. And those lines are a bit too sharp for me, so I incorporate again. Look, my finger just goes softly. There we are. And I need to get rid of this, because that looks like it's that the arm breaks here. Actually goes like this. There we are. Now let's go to the feet, and then we're done. Now, what do I mean we're done? Well, because I just need to show really that she's keeping her balance, because she's standing up. She's not laying somewhere on a wall or anything. I'll go a bit darker here. Why? Because it's empty. This area is too empty for me. So I'm artificially pushing this dark here. And that also connects, like she's creates a shadow on the wall, which she doesn't actually have, because you'll see it. But again, it's a choice we make. You don't have to do it. And then get those lines here. Look, I've lost this. You see, I've lost this area. No specific lines. But I want that here. I want that calf beautiful there. So powerful. And I want as well, I want that dark to start with. And I want that to show. You see, that creates a stability there and creates it's like a plinth. She's standing on her feet. She's not on a plinth, but you want something sturdy to place her on. She got toes. Softly, softly. Again, you want to incorporate those into a wider shot. Again, you see, I'm repeating myself. Not too dark. See, soft, soft, soft. Otherwise, the eye will go there. I want the eye to see this light. That's most important. A lot more important than toes here. And this toe is important. This one here. And there you are. My camera is stopping in a while. Stopped. No, it hasn't. There you are. And highlight those. That's it. That's it. And foot. We're done. There you are. And I thought it was stopping the filming. It hasn't. Very lucky. There you are. I'm not sure if it stopped or not, but anyway, I'll continue. And this toe is very important here to show, because this is like, it's an important tool here to use. Not as thick as that, it's a bit smaller. And this. Here, and a little bit here as well. Look, why not? Get these darks, pump out the darks, and that will give you a nice calf here. Okay, stop it now.